Did you like Kaiju number 8 but also like seinen anime? If you do, I got a recommendation for you. Parts of the story and plot setup are just a little similar, but as the stories go on, they go down two totally different paths. So in Parasyte The Maxim, parasitic aliens invade Earth and are attempting to take over humans' bodies. The way that they do so is by invading the host body, usually through ears or nose, and traveling up to the brain, where they could take full control of the person's body and morph their body into weapons at will. Now, when Big Brain Shinichi fell asleep the night of the invasion, the parasite couldn't enter his body through his ears because he had headphones on. So the parasite failed to take over his body and get to the brain, and instead gets stuck in Shinichi's right arm, who he then calls Migi. The difference with Migi and Shinichi is, whereas all the other hosts, when they take over the brain, have full functioning control over the body, Shinichi is still in control of his body and his brain. The two of them work together to defend, but also to fight off and try to eradicate the spread of these parasites and these hosts. In comparison to Kaiju, Parasyte is definitely much more seinen, closer to the seinen of Attack on Titan. It's a pretty seinen show, also a gory show. When they take over the host body and transform, it looks crazy. Like, if you haven't already seen the show or anything about the Netflix live action that they've made, it might kind of be like, oh wow, what the hell, that's some Junji Ito shit. Because once they take over the brain, the parasites split apart their head into, it can be multiple weapons, blades, and like 6 arms, and that's how they attack. The host's whole head just opens into a weapon, and that's how they fight. The parasites try to, once they kill a host, they try to take over, switch bodies, or eat to grow stronger, like feed off of the other dead person. Like, much more gory, much more seinen than Kaiju. It's not exactly the same show. It's just a main similar characteristic within both of them. As I was watching Kaiju, as soon as the Kaiju came into the hospital and took over his body and he was in somewhat control, I was like, oh shit, parasite vibe. But that's not bad. That's cool. I mean, you know, ALT vibes too, but in a different sense, because we know when he gets the power. Another thing in Parasyte is he doesn't have any kind of team like in Kaiju. There is no defense force with him. It's Shinichi and Migi. Almost every other host that he meets and runs into in the show is just on autopilot. Much more killing, much more death, definitely gory, and even has some gruesome parts, because the way that the parasites kill people when they have control of a host is crazy. If you're newer to anime and you just haven't heard of Parasyte, there'll be a rare chance that somebody comes across this and hasn't seen Parasyte if they already watched Kaiju, especially considering Netflix has already made a live action adaptation of Parasyte themselves. But you know, with Netflix live action adaptations, they tend to change a few things, change a few big details. It's not so much that is a girl as opposed to a guy with Shinichi. It was more so that she still takes over her head but has control. That's a totally different than Migi taking over Shinichi's right hand and has control of just his arm. She still has control of her head. I don't understand. I didn't really watch it because that one main detail was just, it was kind of putting me off. I can admit the CGI for the live action has come a long way. Like, live action anime adaptations, especially the a little bit more supernatural or crazier ones that have things that are a little bit harder to animate or make with CGI, the CGI in the Parasyte live action is as good as I've seen from most live actions, but I'm not a live action fan, so take it for what you want. When it comes to a single season anime, especially a 24 episode full show, Parasyte is a great choice. If you haven't already watched it, you're into seinen shows, you know, sometimes you want to watch something a little bit more gory, Parasyte The Maxim, check it out.